Most of the people in your life are killing your future, not with violence, but with mediocrity, not with fists, but with fatigue. They do it by slowing your pace, dulling your mind, questioning your fire. They do it in subtle tones, small-minded laughter, and useless opinions. And if you keep walking with them, you will die with them, not in body, but in spirit. That is the truth few men will ever say aloud. The average man is terrified to admit that his circle reflects his own indecision. He would rather pretend his failures are random than confess that he chose companions who made failure feel acceptable. But I am not here to console you. I am here to wake you. You must understand this law. Your environment is not neutral. It is a mirror of your inner condition. If the people around you are slow to act, vague in thought, and allergic to purpose, it is because you are vibrating at the level that summoned them. Do not resent them. Do not blame them. But do not keep them. I will show you how to attract high-energy people into your life, but I must first strip you of the illusion that you deserve them. Great men and women are not drawn to weakness. They do not gather where doubt is worshipped and dreams are mocked. They are pulled to fire. And you must become the fire before they will stand beside you. If you stay with me through this speech, I will not hand you shallow inspiration. I will hand you mental dynamite, laws you can apply immediately to ignite your purpose, reprogram your subconscious, eliminate the weak, and attract those who multiply your faith. This is not entertainment. This is instruction for destiny. Let me be clear. If your mind is cluttered with fear, your lips with excuses, and your habits with drift, then you have already built a circle of weakness. And if you don't break it now, it will become your coffin. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, every second you delay, the rhythm of your mind deepens into failure. But if you stay with me, if you listen, apply, and obey the laws I lay out for you, you will become the kind of man or woman who speaks, and others listen, who decides, and others follow. You will no longer chase opportunity or high-energy people. You will attract them. You will become a magnet for power. Ford became that man. Edison became that man. Carnegie, Schwab, Lincoln, they each made the decision I am asking you to make now. Not a decision to try, a decision to command your circle, control your mind, and climb above the masses. These laws made empires, and they can remake you if you stay. Most will not. Most will hear this and retreat back to average company and average dreams. But you, if you are still here, you are not most men. You are here for greatness. You feel it. You ache for it. And I am here to arm you with the tools, the laws, the commands that will awaken it. Do not pause. Do not drift. Listen through to the end and obey. By the final word of this speech, you will no longer beg the world to give you better people. You will become so definite, so energized, so commanding in presence, that only the powerful will dare walk beside you. Take inventory now and do not flinch. Who surrounds you? Who whispers into your ears? Who do you break bread with? If their minds are filled with complaint, doubt, envy, or distraction, mark this truth. They are shaping your destiny. You cannot walk with drifters and expect to arrive at definiteness. You cannot sit beside the mediocre and rise above mediocrity. The first law of all success is mental environment. As a garden cannot grow amidst poison, so your thoughts cannot bloom in a circle of confusion. You must realize energy is transferred. Faith or fear, courage or cowardice, these are contagious. A man becomes either strong or scattered, depending on the strength or scatter of the men around him. What I teach as the law of cosmic habit force governs this truth. It is the silent law that molds your habits, influences your routines, and multiplies your thoughts by the collective tendencies of your daily company. Habit force is not neutral. It is formed by repetition. And nothing repeats faster than the behaviors and conversations of your inner circle. You will not rise higher than the minds that influence you. This is not an opinion. It is a law. Men become the composite of those whose thoughts they allow to enter. If your companions waste time, you will waste life. If they speak of defeat, you will begin to believe in loss. If they drift, you will forget you ever had a name. To attract the high-minded, you must purge the low-minded. Do not allow kindness to become weakness. Do not mistake proximity for harmony. Many men surround themselves with cowards because it costs them nothing. But this costless company will cost you everything you came to earth to achieve. Weak minds do not sharpen, they dull. The drifter, the complainer, the cynic, mark them all as thieves, not of wallets, but of vision. They steal belief by mocking it. They steal clarity by gossip. They steal momentum by endless debate. These are not friends. They are destroyers of direction. High-energy men do not entertain the low spirit of idle chatter. The man of faith, the man of energy, the man of definiteness, he radiates a field so strong that only those of similar spirit can approach and remain. He becomes a magnet to minds who carry ideas, action, courage, and clarity. If your life is not filled with such men, it is not because they do not exist. It is because your signal is not yet tuned. To attract high-energy people, you must radiate definiteness of purpose. You must be a walking declaration of direction. No one follows the uncertain. No one invests in the aimless. Begin this very moment to affirm your vision with strength. Speak it, write it, act in harmony with it, and you will summon others who do the same. Your affirmation is this: I magnetize to myself only those whose minds are charged with purpose, energy, and faith. Repeat it now. Repeat it often. Speak it until your mind believes it and your body walks in its rhythm. Then watch as your environment transforms, slowly at first, then suddenly and without apology. Let me give you a picture. Andrew Carnegie, yes, the man who built more than an empire, he built an energy field. He drew into his orbit men of fire, men of decision, men of high imagination. I was privileged to observe his circle. He did not tolerate idleness. He cultivated minds the way a farmer cultivates his field, intentionally, patiently, and with the strictest standard. Carnegie understood this. Association is not accidental, and it is never neutral. The men around you shape your belief system, not once, but daily. They reinforce or rot your faith. They drive or dilute your focus. You walk with fools, you soon speak their language. You sit with kings, you soon think in empires. Who you walk with, you soon resemble. This is not poetry. This is the raw, mechanical reality of habit, of thought, of identity. If your life is surrounded by low speech, low goals, low urgency, look not to your circumstances, look to your companions. They are mirrors, and mirrors do not lie. You must now command yourself into a new standard. Do not wait for the world to send you giants. Become the man who demands their company. Clean your associations the way a wise man cleans his tools, frequently and without hesitation. Cast out the rusted blade, the broken plow, the dull voice. Begin your new association by becoming what you seek. If you want men of discipline, be disciplined. If you want men of vision, speak only vision. If you want builders, build. You must become so clear in your aim, so firm in your faith, that weak men no longer recognize you. The law is this: the world responds not to your wishes, but to your identity. High-energy men are not seeking your need, they are seeking your resonance. Become one who walks with purpose, and they will see it without a word. Your very presence will announce your direction. Keep no counsel with those who deny the possibility of greatness. Invite no voice that speaks defeat. There is no honor in tolerating poison. You may love the weak, but you must not join them. The price of compromise is your destiny. Do not pay it. If you are to rise, if you are to attract the minds who can build, create, and advance with you, then mark this moment. It is the hour of separation. Drift no more. Decide who you shall be, and then walk only with those who move in that direction. I have given you the first gate. Do not delay. Step through it with courage. Your companions shall either elevate or eliminate you. Choose them with the precision of a general, the wisdom of a builder, and the conviction of a man who knows the value of his mind. You must now become brutal with your atmosphere. This is not the season for pity. It is the hour of purification. Look around you. Observe who drains your spirit, who clutters your thoughts, who introduces doubt where there should be faith. These are not harmless personalities. These are spiritual parasites. The 6 ghosts of fear are not myths. They are the architects of failure. They whisper quietly into your daily conversations and clothe themselves in politeness and reason, but they are killers of will. The fear of poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death, each one finds a voice in the company you keep. Look closely. The man who is always warning of downturns, who speaks of scarcity, of layoffs, of danger lurking, he is the fear of poverty made flesh. The woman who judges every ambition, who mocks new ventures, she is the fear of criticism, operating through the mouth of a trusted friend. Do not be fooled. These fears wear faces. These are spiritual parasites. They do not simply hold you back. They drink the vitality from your nervous system. They weaken your immune force of belief. Their words plant seeds of hesitation, which soon become roots of paralysis. A single complaint repeated daily will destroy more faith than 1,000 defeats. If you desire to attract high-energy individuals into your life, the first order of business is not to find them. It is to remove those who feed on your weakness. You cannot invite kings to dine in a house filled with thieves. The law is clear. The field must be cleared before it can be planted. Withdraw. Withdraw now from all who sow confusion, vagueness, and emotional chaos. These are not eccentricities. These are energies. A disordered spirit cannot birth order. A chaotic voice cannot call forth clarity. Your spirit must be guarded like a fortress. You do not owe access to those who drain your power. You may protest, but they are family, but they are old friends. And I tell you this, there are men in this world who would destroy your dreams in the name of concern. There are those who will keep you small simply because they fear losing the comfort of your mediocrity. Their love does not entitle them to your future. Spiritual law is not sentimental. The universe rewards obedience to its principles, not your excuses. If you maintain association with those who poison your soil, do not weep when the harvest fails. Poisoned minds plant poisoned ideas. If your faith is not growing, examine your company. Autosuggestion does not end with your own voice. Every voice you hear, every word you allow to repeat in your presence becomes suggestion. Your subconscious cannot distinguish between your thought and the thought of another that you tolerate. Tolerated suggestion becomes belief. Belief becomes direction. Direction becomes destiny. Write this upon your wall. I now remove all influences which conflict with my purpose. I walk in clarity. Say it aloud. Say it until your heart aligns with your will. Say it with the tone of a commander, not a beggar, not a negotiator, but one who governs his life. Do you think Henry Ford allowed doubters in his council? When he set out to create the V8 engine, his own engineers told him it was impossible. He did not debate. He did not explain. He commanded them to produce it, and then removed every man who argued with the vision. He kept only those who would believe or at least obey. Ford knew what most men never learn. Belief is more valuable than expertise. He did not surround himself with skeptics, professors, or armchair thinkers. He surrounded himself with men of belief, not credentials. Because he understood, doubt infects, and belief builds. Now I demand of you, take inventory. Not next week, not after polite delay. This very week, identify one voice, one influence, one presence that depletes your energy, clouds your mind, or plants weeds of confusion, and remove it. End the call, cancel the meeting, clean the room, withdraw the welcome. You are not being cruel. You are being clean. You are not abandoning people. You are abandoning poison. And if you believe that you can walk with the poisoned and not be affected, you are already sick with delusion. The man who walks into smoke does not exit clean. You will know these parasites not only by their words, but by how you feel after encountering them. If your focus fades, your clarity dulls, your purpose hesitates, take note, that is not normal. That is spiritual robbery. And the thief, no matter how charming, must be expelled. If you do not guard your environment, you forfeit the right to complain, for you have become a volunteer to your own sabotage. Remove what must be removed. Create silence where there was noise. Create distance where there was disorder. Then, and only then, can true companions begin to appear. Men of high energy do not enter chaos. They do not invest time into the emotionally erratic. They do not build with those who have not cleared their own field. They come only to those who have prepared. If your house is in order, the wise will visit. If your mind is sharp, the builders will answer. So cleanse, sever, separate. Do not apologize for protecting your energy. It is the very source of your future. What you tolerate, you invite. What you excuse, you become. The first battle is not to attract greatness. It is to eliminate weakness. If you wish to build, you must not merely lay bricks. You must first tear down the decaying structure. Weak associations are that decaying structure. And spiritual law is clear. You cannot build the palace of faith upon the ruins of fear. Let your life be a clean flame, visible, warm, unshaken by breeze. Let the voices around you echo with purpose. Let every table you sit at be a council of belief. And if you must dine alone for a season, do it with honor, for solitude is better than sabotage. Say it again. I now remove all influences which conflict with my purpose. I walk in clarity. Let that be your law. Let it govern your calendar, your social habits, your partnerships. Clarity demands sacrifice. But the reward is the arrival of those whose minds burn with vision. You are becoming magnetic, but only after you remove the rust. Let it be done without hesitation. The world is waiting for your energy to rise. Make space. The builders are coming. Energy obeys direction. It does not answer confusion. It does not assemble where no command is issued. It does not gather in the presence of uncertainty. Energy is drawn toward definiteness, like iron to magnet. Therefore, if you wish to attract high-energy people, you must first command your own life with purpose. Drifters attract drifters. Dreamers without plans find themselves among those who waste the hours in speculation, entertainment, or complaint. But the man who possesses a definite chief aim, who knows where he is going and why, becomes a beacon. He does not chase others. He becomes the flame they move toward. Do you have a definite chief aim? Not a wish, not a vague ambition, but a clear, written, measurable, demanding aim that ignites your spirit and directs your every hour? If not, then you have no right to ask the world to give you powerful companions, for they will not respond to your need. They will only respond to your direction. Your aim must be declared not to others first, but to yourself. Your subconscious must hear it daily. Your body must rise to it. Your mind must burn with it. Your habits must form around it, until your very presence announces it without a word, until those around you recognize that you are no longer uncertain. Post your aim upon your door. Read it aloud morning and night. Let the tone of your voice confirm its reality. Let the feeling of faith rise as you speak. This is not ritual. This is real instruction. This is the way every successful man I have known began to attract his equals. If you cannot state your aim, you are not yet ready for high companions. For what shall they join? What shall they assist? A fog? A notion? A whim? No man of high purpose binds himself to the drifting. If your aim is unclear, your invitations to greatness go unanswered. Speak this affirmation daily. I move with clarity. My purpose is known, written, and enforced daily. Let these words mold your self-concept. Let them cleanse your thought life. Let them silence the voices that say someday and replace them with now. Let me tell you of Thomas Edison. That man, during his 1,000 failures to produce the electric light, never allowed a doubter to linger in his company. Skeptics were dismissed. Pessimists were avoided. He walked alone if necessary, but never with those who weakened his certainty. And thus, he attracted builders. Edison's laboratory was filled with men who worked long hours without promise of success, not because they had evidence, but because they had vision, and they had faith in the definiteness of their leader. They followed because he knew where he was going. They joined because he needed no approval to believe. This is your charge. Do not ask others to believe until you do. Do not ask others to join what you have not built. Do not hope for support when your own actions betray your hesitation. You must be the first to believe, the first to invest, the first to act. Energy is a spiritual law. Though you may not see it, it surrounds you and it responds to precision. It gathers to focus. It flees from disorder. What you focus on expands. What you ignore decays. Thus, the man who repeats his aim, who moves toward it daily, becomes surrounded by unseen assistance. You need not use the word vibration, though some may. I tell you this in my own language. Energy responds to mental clarity. When your thoughts are consistent, confident, and emotionally charged, they reach beyond the conscious and form currents in the unseen, and these currents call forth allies. Do not think this is fiction. I have seen it. I have witnessed men attract capital, counsel, opportunity, and brilliance simply because they walked in purpose. They were definite. They were unwavering. They were faithful to their vision. And the world, as if compelled by law, made way. This is why I demand you read your aim aloud morning and night, not to impress the heavens, not to amuse the mind, but to condition your spirit to walk in certainty. Repetition impresses belief. Belief shapes identity. Identity commands outcome. Do not worry if your aim seems too large. It must be. Do not shrink your desire to fit your circle. Expand your circle to fit your desire. The high-energy men you wish to attract are not offended by magnitude. They are stirred by it. They are waiting for a banner to rally to. Raise it. If you aim to create wealth, then speak of commerce, of value, of service, and of multiplication. If you aim to lead, then speak of vision, of unity, of principle, and of conquest. Whatever your domain, let your language reflect your throne. Speak as one who already commands it. Success is never built alone, but it begins alone. Alone in thought, alone in affirmation, alone in sacrifice. And then, after discipline has proven your seriousness, then come the allies, then come the mentors, then come the investors, then come the laborers of vision. Your vision is your magnet. Keep it sharp, keep it high, keep it alive. Read it, speak it, walk it. And you will begin to witness a law more precise than gravity, the law that purpose draws its equals, the law that strength summons strength. You must become the first disciple of your aim, the first servant, the first soldier. If you are casual, others will remain curious but unmoved. If you are devout, others will become inspired. And inspiration brings action. Action brings collaboration. Collaboration brings multiplication. Begin now, not next week, not when your schedule clears, not when others join. Write the aim, read it aloud. Feel the words until they become fire. Then act again, and the world will begin to recognize your tone. You are becoming the kind of man the world seeks. Your clarity is becoming visible. Your posture is changing. Your circle is waiting. But they will not find you until you make your location known, not on a map, but in principle. Speak your aim, walk in it, live in it, and the builders will come. No man attains greatness alone. He may begin alone, think alone, believe alone, but he shall not build a lasting empire in solitude. All lasting power is the product of organized thought, multiplied by harmonious cooperation. This is the mastermind principle, the supreme alliance of high-energy thinkers working toward a definite end. Two or more minds, joined in spirit and purpose, form a third mind, a higher power, a spiritual force of intelligence that does not exist in either mind alone. This is no metaphor. It is a reality. I have seen it. I have sat in rooms where faith multiplied, where decisions gained clarity, where ideas grew wings, simply because two men thought as one. 1 + 1 is 3 when the minds are in harmony, not in friendship, not in convenience, in harmony of belief, definiteness, and spirit. The mastermind is not a social circle. It is not a pastime. It is the sacred union of purpose-driven minds. If you would attract high-energy individuals into your life, you must first prepare your own spirit for alignment. You must walk in clarity, speak in principle, and act in rhythm. For no builder will join a disorganized plan. No man of vision will link arms with one who doubts. Seek those who desire progress, who speak with precision, who work with persistence. Test their character, not with questions, but with time. Do they show up? Do they finish what they start? Do they honor time and thought? Do they move forward when others pause? Once identified, make your intention known, not as a beggar seeking company, but as a builder seeking comrades. Propose purpose. Share the aim. Outline the rules. There must be order. There must be commitment. There must be clarity of contribution. Let me tell you of Charles M. Schwab. He rose from humble roots to become the president of U.S. Steel under Andrew Carnegie, not by talent alone, but because he was part of Carnegie's Mastermind Alliance. He listened, contributed, believed, and worked in perfect cooperation. And through this harmony, fortunes were formed. Carnegie did not build with crowds. He built with a circle, a select few, men of action, men of faith, men who spoke little but delivered much. Each member of his mastermind had a role. Each was chosen for their definiteness. And through their union, they bent industries to their will. Your mastermind must be built the same way. Do not include the emotional, the sarcastic, the disordered. These spirits disrupt harmony. The mastermind does not tolerate spiritual laziness. One weak mind corrupts the whole. Choose well, choose slow. And once chosen, bind together in discipline. Infinite intelligence flows not through noise, but through harmony. It does not speak to scattered minds or divided loyalties. It enters when men align on purpose. It arrives when there is order. It thrives in silence. It responds to law. Affirm aloud, I form my mastermind with men of integrity, decision, and vision. We rise together. Say it until it becomes not just hope, but habit. Let your mind recognize the truth of those words. Let your spirit command the arrival of such men. Do not wait for the perfect man. Begin with one. Begin with one soul who believes. Meet weekly. Discuss the aim. Review progress. Share belief. Share correction. Speak plainly. Speak boldly. Set goals and enforce them. Make your meetings sacred. Make them rare, focused, and purposeful. Do not confuse the mastermind with friendship. Many friends do not belong in your circle of destiny. Many companions lack the focus required for spiritual alignment. Love them from afar if needed, but guard your circle. Water your purpose with precision. The mastermind is built slowly, but its power appears suddenly. One conversation may alter your destiny. One alliance may multiply your reach, your insight, your courage, but only if you prepare, only if you command it through definiteness. Do not over-explain your vision. Share it with those who already live in vision. High-energy minds recognize one another not through persuasion, but through recognition. They feel your tone. They see your decision. They hear the ring of faith in your voice. If no one joins you yet, walk alone. Speak your aim aloud. Act daily. When your vibration is right, when your mind is firm, others will appear. You are being watched even now by those who wait for proof that your direction is real. Do not recruit, attract. Let your discipline speak. Let your action invite. Let your schedule prove your seriousness. The right men will see, and the wrong men will never understand. Instruct each member of your circle to maintain their own aim. Let each man stand as a pillar, not a dependent. There must be strength in each part. The mastermind is not a crutch. It is a forge, and only forged minds belong within it. Speak faith, share victories, confess failures with intention to rise, hold one another accountable, demand growth. This is not sentiment. It is a spiritual contract. You are building a tower, and only strong stones may be laid. Let your meetings include affirmation. Speak your chief aims aloud to one another. Let the words be charged with belief. Let the room become electric with purpose. This is how high energy is sustained, not through hope, but through structure. As you grow, revisit your alliance. Some may fall away. Some may rise above. Adjust without guilt. This is not personal. It is principle. The mission comes first. The harmony must be protected. The mastermind is your counsel, your mirror, your power source. Form it with reverence. Maintain it with discipline. And watch as opportunities, ideas, and support begin to flow where once there was silence. You now walk in league with the law that men of vision must not build alone. Obey it. Build your circle and rise. No man attracts greatness without first commanding himself. The energy you wish to call into your life, the allies, the opportunities, the builders and kings, it does not come to the uncertain. It obeys the man who walks in conviction, the man who has trained his mind through faith and steered his life through decision. Faith is not a feeling. It is not a wish. It is not the momentary thrill of a quote or a burst of enthusiasm. It is a state of mind built by discipline. A man builds faith by repetition, by vision, by daily reinforcement of his definite purpose, and without it, he is blind, even when surrounded by opportunity. Faith is the gateway through which all high-energy men recognize one another. When you speak with faith, it is heard not only by ears, it is felt by spirit. It declares, I am certain. And certainty is the force that gathers allies, bends resistance, and commands events to align. But you cannot borrow faith. You must construct it. And you do so through autosuggestion, by daily and deliberate command to your subconscious. You speak your purpose aloud with feeling. You write it. You repeat it. You visualize it as already accomplished, until it no longer feels foreign, but inevitable. You must now take authority over your voice. Speak your aims aloud with burning conviction, not as wishes, but as law. Say them as a builder speaks of his blueprints. Say them with the same tone as a commander delivering orders. Your voice must become the agent of your own transformation. Now understand this. Decision is energy. Indecision is decay. The man who hesitates weakens his spirit. He welcomes conflicting thoughts which scatter his will. A double-minded man can build nothing that lasts. His energy repels high achievers. His vibration is unstable. He is not a magnet, but a mirror, reflecting chaos. You must learn to decide. Decide quickly. Decide once. Decide fully. When you are clear on your purpose, decision becomes simple. When you know where you are going, everything becomes either fuel or distraction, and the decision to reject distraction is made without apology. Consider Abraham Lincoln. He made a definite decision to preserve the Union at great cost, with much resistance, and often in solitude. He did not flinch when criticized. He did not waver when doubted. He decided, and the nation rose with him. He stood alone in belief until others were forced to see what he saw. Faith and decision are not separate. They are twins. Faith gives birth to decision, and decision strengthens faith. Together, they form the foundation of magnetism. The man who possesses both walks with clarity, and clarity is irresistible to other men of power. Affirm aloud now, I decide with strength. I act with faith. I become magnetic to the powerful. Say it not as a wish, but as a decree. Repeat it daily until your mind no longer debates, until your subconscious moves in line with your declaration. Repetition is not optional. The mind is trained no differently than the body. You cannot speak faith once and expect permanence. You must flood your inner world with belief through word, image, and action. This is how the subconscious becomes programmed to win. Write a self-confidence formula. Include your chief aim. Write how you will achieve it, what you will give in return, and what you believe. Then speak it aloud morning and night, with passion, with certainty, with decision. You are not reading, you are commanding. You must visualize your success. See it in full detail. Feel it. Speak from it. Walk as though it were already so. For the subconscious does not distinguish between reality and deeply impressed imagination. And what it believes, it moves toward relentlessly. You cannot invite greatness into your life while thinking like a coward. You cannot summon builders while speaking as a beggar. You cannot walk among the courageous while living in fear. You must become what you seek, and that becoming begins with inner law. Do not wait for external evidence. Decision does not require proof. It requires purpose. You act not because you see. You act so that you may see. The world aligns with the man who moves. It mocks the man who hesitates. Be the one who moves. Let every step be guided by your vision. Let every action affirm your identity. Let every word reinforce your direction. Do not drift. Do not dilute. Do not delay. The man who obeys these principles becomes a magnet to all that is powerful. This is not theory. This is spiritual law. It is the rhythm by which men like Edison, Ford, Carnegie, and Lincoln rose. They were men of belief, men of decision, men who spoke their aims aloud and acted until the world yielded. Faith makes you magnetic. Decision makes you move. Together, they make you unstoppable. Every word you speak shapes the architecture of your destiny. Speech is not idle. It is the first act of creation. With words, you impress belief into your own mind. With words, you announce your standards to the world. And with words, you attract or repel the kind of men who will either build with you or break you. Words are seeds. Spoken aloud, they settle into the soil of the subconscious, where they grow into convictions, habits, and ultimately realities. If you plant doubt, you will harvest hesitation. If you plant complaint, you will reap delay. If you plant strength, clarity, and belief, your field will bloom with opportunity and allies. High-energy people do not speak as common men do. They do not waste breath on blame. They do not indulge in sarcasm, nor do they repeat the language of defeat. Their words are chosen, charged, and channeled. Each sentence moves them closer to their aim or silences that which does not serve it. You must now observe your language as a builder watches his measurements. There is no room for guesswork. The tongue must speak as if every word were binding law, for so it is. The subconscious listens, it records, and it adjusts your magnetic field accordingly. Speak weakness, and you will shrink. Speak strength, and you will rise. The law of controlled attention teaches that what you focus on expands, but attention begins with articulation. If you say, I can't, you command your mind to build barriers. If you say, I'm trying, you instruct it to remain in limbo. If you say, I will, you open the gates of action. Language directs thought. Thought directs movement. I now give you a command. Eliminate all verbal habits of doubt, uncertainty, or laziness. Remove phrases such as hopefully, I don't know, we'll see, and it's hard. These are not just words. They are signals. They tell the world and your mind that you are not yet definite, and so definiteness avoids you. Affirm aloud, my words carry the force of faith, clarity, and upward movement. Repeat this until your conversations reflect it. Let your tone shift. Let your vocabulary change. Let your family and peers notice that your voice no longer entertains disorder. Let us look to John D. Rockefeller. Even when faced with opposition, lawsuits, and public criticism, he maintained speech that affirmed power. He was not reckless with words. He spoke few, and each carried weight. He understood that leadership is announced not with shouting, but with the calm tone of certainty. The wise speak less and say more. This is not silence from fear. It is the restraint of mastery. When you learn to govern your tongue, others begin to lean in. Your presence expands. Your influence grows. Because words are no longer reactions. They are instruments of command. I instruct you, for the next 3 days, keep a journal. Write down every phrase you speak aloud that contains complaint, sarcasm, uncertainty, or emotional sloppiness. At the end of each day, review it. Cross out each phrase. Replace it with a phrase of strength, clarity, and movement. You will be shocked at how often you curse your own progress with casual language. But do not let this discourage you. Let it awaken you. For once awakened, you may begin to speak only what builds. You will no longer undermine your own assent. Speak your chief aim aloud daily. Let your words carve it into the walls of your mind. Let the room you're in feel the weight of your conviction. Speak of your victories before they occur. Describe the life you are building, not the one you fear. Do not lie, but speak as one who already sees. Let your sentences carry vision. Let them reflect your decision. Let them be sharp, not vague, clear, not cloudy, brief, not burdened with excuses. Remember, powerful people do not waste time explaining failure. They define success, and they do so with language forged by belief. The subconscious listens to every word you speak and silently rewrites your expectations. It does not care whether the word is positive or negative. It simply obeys. This is why you must become strict with your speech. You are not making conversation. You are constructing your future. In private, in public, in passing, your tongue must remain under discipline. For the world hears not only what you say, but the vibration of belief behind it. Speak with faith, and others will trust you before you even finish your sentence. Speak with doubt, and they will flee before the first syllable lands. Make your language clean. Remove the slang of weakness. Eliminate vulgarity. Speak not as the masses, but as a man of principle. Let every word uplift your image, affirm your purpose, and invite the strong to walk with you. Your vocabulary is your invitation. The high-minded will not stay where low language dominates. The builders you seek do not dwell among idle words. They gather where words mean something, where speech reflects inner order, where a sentence declares a soul on fire with direction. You must now choose casual speech or commanding presence. You cannot have both. One attracts confusion, the other attracts the strong. Affirm again, my words carry the force of faith, clarity, and upward movement. Let that be your verbal creed. Let it shape your conversations, your meetings, your planning, and your introductions. For words become impressions. Impressions become alliances. Alliances become acceleration. Speak strength, become strength, attract strength. Attraction is not a game of chance. It is a science. It is not left to fate, luck, or the approval of others. It is earned, trained, enforced. Your ability to attract powerful people, decisive allies, and builders of vision is not about charm. It is about character, clarity, and command of your own inner state. A magnet must first be charged before it can draw iron. So, too, must a man be spiritually charged before he becomes magnetic. You cannot draw high-quality minds into a life of disorder. You cannot attract builders while living in spiritual laziness. Great men do not follow noise. They align with purpose. Most men wait for acceptance. They wait for someone to notice them, validate them, select them. But powerful men are not looking for followers. They are looking for equals, those whose clarity, discipline, and direction demand respect. You must not seek their approval. You must become the kind of man who commands their attention. Your magnetism begins each morning, not with luck, not with what happens to you, but with what you say, what you see, and how you structure your thoughts. Begin each day by building your inner field. Do not reach for devices. Do not answer voices. Sit alone with your own command center and begin to shape the day by design. Your morning ritual must become sacred. It must be disciplined. It must be predictable. You are not merely waking up, you are preparing your instrument. Begin by writing your definite chief aim in your journal. Do not type it. Write it by hand. Engage the physical body in the act of belief. Then enter stillness. 10 minutes. No music, no motion. Sit in full stillness and visualize your future circle of allies. See them clearly, their eyes, their discipline, their tone. Picture them around your table. Picture them walking beside you. Do not fantasize. Envision. Construct it with the same clarity you would build a machine. Now speak aloud. Let the voice carry power. Say, I am the type of man powerful people seek. I walk in purpose, radiate order, and attract only the disciplined. Do not whisper it. Do not recite it mindlessly. Declare it. Train your subconscious to believe it before you leave the room. This exercise is your daily furnace. It is not optional. It is not to be rushed. It is the spiritual act of becoming magnetic. Most men walk into their day spiritually naked, wondering why others ignore them, overlook them, forget them. But those who shape themselves in the morning walk as if already known. You must command your emotional state before you can command external results. You must govern your own temperature before influencing the atmosphere of others. High-energy people recognize emotional authority. If your tone is calm, certain, and energized, they will lean in. If your tone is scattered, they will walk away. Affirm aloud, each day I sharpen my spirit. Each day I speak with clarity. Each day my magnetism increases. Say it now. Say it with the tone of a man who means it. Say it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that, until your soul obeys it without question. Andrew Carnegie reviewed his definite purpose aloud every morning before facing the day. He did not wait until things went wrong. He did not pray in panic. He meditated in clarity. Before meeting with industrialists, he sat in silence, envisioned the result, affirmed his purpose, and entered the room as a man who had already won. People of quality do not follow emotion. They follow spiritual order. They sense when a man is aligned. They recognize the tone of certainty. They do not need to be convinced. They need to see consistency. If your life radiates daily discipline, you will not need to chase opportunity. It will arrive. You must begin to track the proof of your magnetism. Each evening, write down one interaction where you elevated another, where your words shifted the energy, where your tone influenced the direction. It may be subtle, it may be silent, but record it. Proof builds belief, and belief builds power. Let your mind begin to see that success leaves trails. It does not appear suddenly. It does not fall from the sky. It is the result of days, weeks, and years of inner alignment. You do not stumble into greatness. You construct it piece by piece, habit by habit, declaration by declaration. Do not waste energy trying to be noticed. Be worthy of recognition through spiritual sharpness. The world will always seek out the man who knows where he is going. The room will always defer to the one who speaks less, but with force. Identity attracts, not effort, not begging, identity. Repeat your chief aim every morning. Repeat your magnetic declaration aloud before important conversations, meetings, and decisions. Do not leave your magnet uncharged. Prepare it, sharpen it, aim it. You are not passive in this world. You are the signal others are listening for. The type of man you wish to attract is already walking this earth. He is not distracted. He is not emotional. He is watching, waiting, seeking, not for friends, not for followers, but for equals. Become one, and you will not need to chase. You will be found. Your spouse is not a side note in the story of your success. They are either your greatest alliance or your deepest sabotage. Mark my words with finality. You cannot rise with a voice beside you that questions your vision, confuses your energy, or mocks your purpose. Marriage is not an emotion. It is a spiritual contract that multiplies or divides your power. Marriage, when rightly formed and rightly maintained, is the most sacred mastermind alliance available to man. It is not to be entered lightly. It is not to be endured passively. It is to be selected and shaped with the same precision and purpose you bring to your definite chief aim. If you are not yet married, be ruthless in your standard. And if you are married, be relentless in your correction or conclusion. Marriage is not built on sentiment. It is forged in spiritual alignment. What you believe, what you speak, what you envision, your partner must not merely tolerate, but feed. The great mistake is choosing a companion for comfort, beauty, or convenience, and expecting them to help you build a palace of vision. You cannot build with someone who fears the size of your dream. If you are unmarried, do not let loneliness lead you. Let purpose lead you. Ask first, does this person believe in direction? Do they speak faith or fear? Do they collapse under pressure or sharpen under trial? Do they speak well of others or live in sarcasm and comparison? You are not selecting company. You are selecting spiritual access. If you are married, do not deceive yourself. Assess the spiritual tone of your union. Are you building each other, or are you walking on eggshells? Do your goals elevate together, or do you water yours down to keep the peace? You cannot serve both your destiny and someone's insecurity. You must choose. You must write your union aim statement. Sit with pen in hand and answer, what is the purpose of this marriage? What are we building together? What spiritual atmosphere will we create each morning and carry into every room? This is not romantic. This is responsible. Without a shared aim, your marriage is drift disguised as tradition. Now let me give you a powerful marriage mastermind exercise. This is your blueprint. It must be practiced weekly with the discipline of kings. First, share your chief aims weekly. Sit face to face. Declare what you are moving toward. Let your partner hear your tone. Let them respond with theirs. Growth must be visible. Vision must be audible. If one begins to drift, the other must realign. Second, speak affirmations together before the week begins. Say aloud, we walk in clarity. We support each other's greatness. We do not speak fear. These words condition the field. They invite order. They repel the enemy of confusion. They frame the tone of every following word. Third, once a week, spend 30 minutes in silent proximity. No devices, no distractions, no speech, just presence. Sit beside one another. Feel the energy of shared stillness. Let the silence become agreement. Let the union deepen, not through noise, but through harmony. Understand this. You must speak life into your union. Words of complaint, sarcasm, emotional volatility, these kill energy. They are termites in the foundation of your home. You must speak gratitude. You must speak clarity. You must remind one another of your shared war, your shared throne, your shared legacy. Let me remind you of what I wrote in Think and Grow Rich. The influence of a strong, faithful, and aligned partner may double a man's power. I meant every word. I have seen men rise 10 times higher simply because their wife believed. I have seen others fall into mediocrity because they feared disturbing the peace of a partner who had no vision. Affirm aloud, my marriage multiplies my purpose. I choose or build my union with faith, clarity, and shared direction. Say it aloud whether you are single, engaged, or decades into marriage. Let that be the law of your companionship. And for those in the wrong alliance, I will not lie to you. You must confront reality. If the voice beside you dismantles your belief, clouds your decisions, and pollutes your environment, you are not married in spirit, you are entangled. And no man may serve two masters, his vision or his silence. You must choose. If your union can be transformed, then lead. Bring the principles. Enforce the rituals. Invite growth. But if your partner mocks the light, belittles your pursuit, and rewards your submission to smallness, you must walk in truth. Better to rise alone than to drown with one who cannot breathe at your altitude. Marriage is not for the faint of heart. It is for kings and queens who seek to multiply power through alliance. It is the sacred exchange of energy. It is not perfect, but it must be purposeful, and purpose will survive what passion cannot. Audit your marriage or future marriage by the laws of definiteness, faith, and harmony. Accept only what elevates. Refuse all that weakens. The builders of history did not build with confused hearts. They built with those who sharpened their steel. Let your union be a cathedral. Let your words inside that temple be holy. Let your mornings begin with intention. Let your evenings close with honor. If you love, build. If you build, align. And if you align, you will rise together. This is your final command in this journey. Protect your spiritual alliances. Guard your inner circle. And accept nothing that does not call you higher.